Last week, the first train left the port of Rotterdam to Moscow, and around the same time, RTSB opened a new office in Moscow. In this week's live show, we discussed the increasing role of Russia on the New Silk Road. Yes, hello everyone. It's Friday, 5 November, and this week we are taking you to Moscow. Of course, not literally, but last week we were at the RSC terminal in the port of Rotterdam, where the first train departed to Moscow. And this was a very big event with a lot of smiley faces. Now, we asked the parties involved, why Moscow?
We are a young company, Smart Container. We just started 2020, and we decided to step on this railway project because it's a really nice possibility to quickly step on the market.
We are doing a lot of trains into Europe. And Moscow, is for us quite a new connection. In the past we had a train going into Poland, but Moscow is really new for us.
What happened now is that we loaded the train yesterday morning in Tilburg, and then we brought it to here in Rotterdam, and there a cargo is added, and then it goes all the way to Moscow.
It's connection between Rotterdam, Moscow, Brest, and also not only Moscow. It's going further to Eurasian countries, and we are happy that RSC terminal opened for us gates of Rotterdam. That's why we are here. From RSC terminal to Brest, then container will change to Russian Railway 5020 and going to Moscow direct.
Now the cargo we handle in our terminal are containers, trailers, swap bodies. We have a lot of different cargo, but we mainly focus on that area due to the fact that we are in an intermodal terminal.
This is our first train. We need to make proper way all of technology, connection in Brest, Russian terminals, but we know exactly it is one train per week, and it will be growing. 2022, we have ambition to start 3 trains per week. Because Ruscon present in every country now. We have office in Kazakhstan. We have representative branches and doing business together with Azerbaijan, Armenia, and also for us very important Belarus, because it's a switch point between Europe and Eurasia.
Now in the westbound back, that's still to be discussed and further to be developed, but we will work very close together with Smart Container to achieve that goal. And next to that, of course, we have also the train to Kaunas, which maybe we also can connect all together. So we believe in network, we believe in partnership, and we believe in joining up economies between all the countries in Europe or the fixed continent.
And that was not the only thing happening in Moscow, because around the same time, RTSB, a well-known company on the New Silk Road, opened a subsidiary in Moscow. And we have the honor of speaking to the brand new manager of that office. He's on the line with us, Alexander Baskakov, or Baskakov. Alexander.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Everything's great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's Baskakov. You just told me, yes.
You
And
just don't think about it. You are doing it right. Don't worry.
all right. So a new office in Moscow. Why has RTSB decided to open up an office there?
Actually, RTSB has already been quite a long time on the Russian market. It's just they didn't have own subsidiary, but they had a representative office here. But the operations, let's say, were concentrated in Europe, of course. And now I think it's a very good moment for the company to open a full-fledged subsidiary, because Russian market, of course, is very important on its own, and also it's very important, of course, in terms of development transit business and transit businesses.
And what
course,
does it mean? What does it mean for your customers that you have an office there now, or a subsidiary?
It means, of course, that they have a better connection to Russian market. First of all, the second, we will attract new customers as well, which are Russian companies, which are also part of this transit and export-import business with China. So it's better connection, better service for them, of course.
Yeah. And why is it needed, you think? What is the role of Moscow on the new Silk Road?
Moscow is, you cannot divide Moscow from New Silk Road, of course, because all the trains, all the transit trains go via Moscow, go via Russia, I mean, of course, and it's just one of the parts of the train business, yeah. But also, you cannot divide this transit and Russian markets, because actually a lot of the same equipment is used, both for transit trains which go to Europe, and also trains which go between Russia and China. It's the same equipment, the same containers, the same wagons. So when you have both parts, Russian part and European part, it means you can better use this equipment, you can get better conditions, you can get lower prices and better service.
Does it also mean you're going to carry out some new services there?
Of course, we've already started it. We started in July. I mean, the company was registered a bit earlier, but the operation started in July, and we've already attracted. Now we have, I think, around 2,500 TEUs per month without transit. It's just Russia to China business. So of course, it's also new services.
Yeah. Now you're also focusing a lot on the transit route via Ukraine, which is, of course, eventually also passing through Russia. What are the advantages of this route via Ukraine?
Yeah, Ukraine have been like our case for a couple of years now. This route, of course, has its advantages, its disadvantages. Yeah, but advantages are that, as you may know, a lot of border stations are now overloaded between wide gauge and narrow gauge in Europe. So Brest is a bit overloaded. Kaliningrad, of course, is also suffering now from too much volume. And Ukraine actually is almost empty now, and they have quite a big capacity on the border between Ukraine and Slovakia, between Ukraine and Hungary, of course. So we want to use this capacity for our cargo. We want to provide better services for the client. We want to provide better transit times, and Ukraine is one of the points where we can do it.
Yeah, I hear a lot of sound on the background. Is it possible to eliminate some of that sound, or you have no control over it?
I can try moving somewhere, but
yeah, okay, maybe that's too much. Let's just stick to the conversation.
Okay.
You mentioned the border crossing, Slovakia, Hungary. Which is the one that you prefer?
I can't say we prefer something. Yeah, we use all of them, of course. We use those which are most suited, better suited to our clients. Of course, if you want to go to Hungary, if you want to go to, I don't know, Italy, or Austria, for example, yeah, you go, of course, via Hungary. But if you wanna go to Germany, you would rather go, I think, via Slovakia or via Poland. So all the options are workable, of course, for us, and we have experience on all these border stations. We know how they work. So basically, we use the one which clients need and which suits more the concrete client.
Yeah, and I mean, you have a lot of westbound traffic right now, but there is not a lot of eastbound traffic yet. Why is that?
Yeah, that's true. We have no eastbound at all via Ukraine, and it's been like that for more than a year already. Fortunately, of course, when we talk about Ukraine and Russia, there is a lot of politics involved, yeah, and there are sanctions from both sides, from Ukrainian side for Russian cargo and from Russian side for Ukrainian cargo, and of course we have to comply with the sanctions. That's why, unfortunately, when we go from Europe via Ukraine or from Ukraine via Russia to go to China, we have to, let's say, check if the cargo is under in the sanctions list or not. And unfortunately, almost all the cargoes which can potentially go from that region are sanctioned, are under sanctions. But there is a mechanism which is offered, let's say, by Russian customs authorities, which will let us actually transport this eastbound goods as well. There is a special, let's say, company created in Russia which provides services of GPS seals.
This is GLONASS, right?
GLONASS, GPS, yeah, and basically it's
Yeah.
different names of different systems, but the sense, I mean, the main idea the same. Of course, it's positioning system which will allow the Russian customs to control that cargo which entered Russian territory. It actually left Russian territory on the other end without any stops, without any opening containers and stuff like that. So Russian customs will be able to control it, and this means we will be able to also transport eastbound cargo.
Because that will be applied at the border between Ukraine and Russia?
Right, it will be applied at the border between Ukraine and Russia, and on the other end, it will be taken off on the Russian-Kazakh border or Russian-Mongolian border.
Because that is not there right now.
The mechanism is there. It's just not at the station we need it to be, not at the right, let's say, border station between Russia and Ukraine. It's merely a technical issue. It's a bit difficult, of course, to solve because big railway companies, I mean, national railways are involved, yeah, and they are not, let's say, the quickest.
But is it possible, or it's not? Is it there and it's not possible, or is it not there at all, this application of the seal at the border?
It is, of course, possible. There is such point when we can apply these seals. It's just not where we need it to be, so that's why we are
Where
now...
do you need it to be?
We need it to be in Belgorod, and now it's... sorry, it's now in Belgorod, and the trains now go via Bryansk. So actually we need to change the border, let's say the routing of transit trains, which we are working on now together with RZD and Ukrainian Railway as well, of course. So I hope and I believe that starting next year, we will be able to solve this issue, and we will be able to provide, of course, eastbound service to our clients. We already have potential clients on this route who are very interested due to, of course, short transit time and due to proximity to their loading locations in Europe,
yeah,
where they have cargo. So I believe next year we will render it possible together with our partners here in Russia.
Yeah, and do you then mean next year as of January next year or December next year?
I hope January, definitely January or February. So
yeah, that's quite
first quarter, let's say, because it's been this problem has been discussed for quite a long time, but now the movement has started. The movement that needs to happen, it has already started. So we hope that January, February it will be possible.
And is this a problem that all traffic, eastbound traffic, is facing, or is it just a problem for your particular route?
It's a problem for all eastbound traffic via Ukraine, which goes to China.
Yeah, that is probably why that hasn't picked up yet then.
Of course. Yeah. This mechanism already works for Ukrainian cargo, which goes to Russian ports of southern ports, like Rostov and that region. For this route, this mechanism already works, so we just need to apply the same scheme for transit as well.
Yeah. You just mentioned Kaliningrad. You said there is also congestion there, and that is funny because that was actually established as the alternative route. We're going to talk about that after you. Do you think Ukraine could be the next alternative route or the next Kaliningrad?
I can say I think you shouldn't say about like some alternative. Yeah, alternative, it means you switch something off and switch it on in different location. Yeah, it's not an alternative. It's just additional capacity, because the volume is growing each year, double digits, and you just adding something to existing network. You are not moving some volume from Brest, for example, to Kaliningrad or to Ukraine. You're just adding more capacity to the current system. So Kaliningrad, yeah, it's now, if you are talking about port of Kaliningrad, maybe a couple of years ago, in last year, everyone said that, okay, let's go to Kaliningrad. It's free, yeah, it's empty. And now you see what's going on. It's completely not empty right now, because volume has added up. But in Kaliningrad, there are also other options. When we are talking about congestion, we are talking about Kaliningrad port, but we are also now using, and we've started this summer, new routes, new continental routes without sea part. And this is also one of the points of growth.
Can you explain this route? You said without sea?
Yeah, it goes to the station. The cargo goes to the station of Cherniakhovsk. There is a new terminal there, which has been officially opened, I think, last month or a couple of months ago. Yeah. But it's actually already started operation a bit earlier, and we also use this station. It already has infrastructure for wide gauge and narrow gauge, so you can actually make reloading in both ways right on the Cherniakhovsk station. And that's what we're doing now. We started, I think, in July, and now we have several round trips per week already via this station.
Okay.
So it's also a point of growth for us.
Okay, well, we're going to talk to our next speaker about exactly this terminal. So thank you very much, and enjoy the coffee, and speak to you later.
Thank you and good luck. Goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, as already mentioned, Kaliningrad, and there is a new terminal since the beginning of October, and this place is very congested. Now, we talked, actually not me, but my colleague Nathalie van Herk, who is from our sister publication Nieuwsblad Transport, to the CEO of UTLC ERA, which is one of the pioneers of the route through Kaliningrad. And we spoke to him about how dealing with a place which is congested but yet very popular.
Kaliningrad in general has a very, very good logistic and strategical location. And for the Eurasian transit container trains as well, as Kaliningrad has two container ports, Kaliningrad seaport and Baltisk seaport, and both are operating with the containers. So, like I said, multimodally, you can get to any port of Northern Europe or West Europe up to Rotterdam or Zeebrugge, as well as for Scandinavian port in less than a day, in 20 or maybe 22 hours. So what we do now, we mostly work to the German ports, but at the same time, we have our pilot shipments and already regular shipments to Great Britain, for example, from Kaliningrad port. So, and for the short sea connection, you have really big potential to growth, as you can just remove one small boat to the medium-sized boat, and you can go not with the 200 containers, but with 500 containers or 1,000 containers to these ports, and vice versa. So these two ports give a great opportunity to the transit route in general. In the same time, we understand that customer appreciate if we have, let's say, the direct railway connection together with a multimodal solution. And on Kaliningrad, in Kaliningrad area, we have two dry terminals on the border with Poland, Cherniakhovsk, and the new terminal East-West, called East-West, which was opened on the 1st of October this year. And we already have a pilot shipments through this terminal, and the potential is to increase the number of trains, minimum one pair of trains a day. And the potential is, like we heard from the owners of the terminal, up to 450 TEUs per year. So it means we can increase our volume to this particular terminal. And we have also another terminal in Dzержинskaya Novaya railway station, which is connected to Poland through the border point Branevo-Mamonova, where we have already the regular shipments, and we also can make a regular daily service to this through this route. So altogether makes Kaliningrad area very competitive in pricing, in technology, in the transit time for the European and Southeast Asian and Chinese customers.
Because you're talking about the increasing volumes there. How are you going to stop the congestion? How do you stop that it's going to be that busy?
Of course, on this market, you are facing with the barriers sometimes if the growth up is too fast. What you have to do is to sit, to call to your partner and to make fast actions, or to have fast negotiations how to overcome through these barriers, how to avoid these problems. Like lately we had in August and September we had this drastic growth of the volumes to Kaliningrad. Suddenly we got the problem with the customs transit declaration at the Lithuanian and Russian border. So we came with a group of our specialists immediately to this border point. We have met with the people there, and instead of 3 hours for customs declaration, or even sometimes 10 hours for this process, now we make all the processes in less than 1 hour, or usually basically it's 30 or 40 minutes now. So it's not barrier anymore.
And how does it come?
How it happened?
Yeah, how it's
well,
like
it's just a new process. It's a new, let's say, IT tool, and a couple of more people to add to this process as the volume rised up for, like I said, for 4 times. So it's not infrastructural investment. It's just technological improvement. And so there are a lot of chains like that you can improve, not building the new ports or new terminals.
Yes, and then we have reached the end of this week's show. Next week, we're going to have a dedicated show all about the European Silk Road Summit, because it's coming on 7 and 8 December. We're organizing the European Silk Road Summit in Amsterdam. And there also, we have a special focus on the Russian transit with a lot of speakers from Russia. So next week, a dedicated show about this event. For now, please subscribe, or actually I shouldn't say please, just subscribe to this channel, because then you'll be notified of our new content. And for now, see you next week. Goodbye.
En ook u kunt hier zitten, want deze coronaproof studio is te huur voor uw congres, vergadering of webinar. We hebben alle techniek in huis om u hierbij te helpen. Kijk voor meer informatie op promedia.nl. Ik zie u graag in onze studio.